Welcome. In this video, I'm going to take you on a journey called Measuring Education, the Art of Comparison. For the next 5 minutes, I'm asking you to get curious about what might be possible in a world that works by increasing educational attainment. It's my intention that you gain some insights from my experiences. My name is Gisele Larose. I'm a recovering know-it-all who has been upgrading conversations over the last 3 years. I made a promise that by 2030, I will listen for the conversations contributing to a world empowered by learning. Now, you see, in the beginning of this journey, I thought I knew something about measuring the value of education. I do know a lot, but my slice of knowledge and understanding is actually very little in comparison to what's still available. So I focused on what I didn't know. There are things that I'm clearly not aware of, like how is education being measured today on a global scale? But when I admitted that just sharing what I knew and finding out a little bit more was not going to really source the change that the industry is looking for, that's when I started to delve into what I don't know. Looking from that perspective, I learned some good stuff that's worth sharing. My so-called commitment was simply a point of view. My passion was me being righteous about making a difference. My thinking was so grounded in young conversations that I really wasn't grounded in reality. Through numerous conversations with people participating in the Conference for Global Transformation, partnership, inquiries and exploration, and more specifically, the State of the World Scorecard team, I learned the art of engaging and listening instead of pretending to listen, waiting for my turn to talk. I applied key distinctions common to what it is to be human. My identity of being a know-it-all was bankrupt. Most of the truths of what I thought was true were simply survival habits developed in childhood. The persona I gave folks was, it's never good enough, which left them with, why bother? Very early in life, I said I was the mistake. So I could see in my adulthood that I was actually using learning as a strategy to fix myself. Now let's get back to being curious. How is education learning represented in the measures of the State of the World Scorecard? Does educational attainment correlate with one of the 4 categories: economic, environmental, social, or political? Let me show you the UN Education Index. This index is calculated using the average mean years of schooling of adults, the expected years of schooling of children, expressed as an index so that countries could be compared. So this comparison looks at the increasing educational attainment from 1990 to present day in terms of trends across the 3 most populous countries. China is represented in red, India is represented in green, and the United States is represented in blue, with black being the average of all 189 countries. Now, some of you watching this video may be sticklers on statistics, yet others want to discuss more functional measures. I included this slide from the US Census Bureau. The darkest green colors show 8 out of the 52 states 60% of the people in the United States have earned a bachelor's degree or greater. Now, as I attempt to process both the science of measurement and the art of comparison, my focus on lifetime learning may or may not be shown in formal education or years of schooling as compared in a bachelor's degree or greater. My journey for a world empowered by learning will continue to be monitored in measurement and the art of comparison. I anticipate through worldwide conversations that we can increase our efforts to upskill and reskill 112 million adults in lifetime learning in the United States alone by 2030. We can also increase the worldwide effort to deliver basic secondary level skills to 825 million children as they reach adulthood by 2030. In closing, I want to ask you, have I empowered you to learn what you don't know you don't know? I want to thank the scorecard team, past, present members, and specific thanks to Dave Flattery and Tony Graydon for inspiring me to compile and analyze data, and Peg Miller and Rose Grant for partnership in learning how to engage an audience in my journey. I want to thank my husband, Kurt Corby, who supports me in what's important to me. And lastly, a special shout out to graduates, colleagues, friends, and family who have inspired me to push beyond what I know.